America, land of the free, home of the brave. The country I love, the country I call home. It's so great. We're so great that all it takes is the president has to just threaten. He just has to speak and markets will move. People will cry. Retirements will get destroyed. All at the mouth, all at the words of our great president. This is why my parents left Africa and came to America. This is why my parents left Uganda to come to America, so that their retirement can get destroyed, so that they can just never retire, so that their savings can just disappear. This is why they moved to America. The fact that the stock market lost trillions of dollars and then gained it back is capitalism. That's the whole point. That's the whole point, guys. That's why we do this. That's why I scoop rice. So that the stock market can go down and then it goes up. It goes up and I wouldn't have it any other way. It goes up and up and up and up. And I love that. That is why I wake up when I'm eating my Cheerios. I'm saying, the stock market's about to go up. And what's crazy about all this is, at what point does this become monopoly money? At what point do we stop having an economy, we stop having a society, and we're just playing a game of Monopoly? That's what we're doing. We're going to be playing a game of Monopoly. We're not going to be innovating. We're not going to buy long and sell short. There isn't going to be any of that. It's just going to be numbers on a screen, veiled threats. Because that's what I think of these tariffs. I just think, does anyone know what's going on? And I'm not here to make a political video. I'm not here to make an economic video. I don't know how the economy works, how it functions. But at what point do we just say, hey, this is all made up? And at the end of the day, this is just so that some boomer can be a millionaire. That's really why we work. We're not working to enrich ourselves. We're not working for a better future. We're not working because we believe in what we do. At the end of the day, your money's just going to get funneled to some baby boomer, and their housing value is going to go up. And they can just collect benefits from the government. That's it. I have solved life's greatest existential crisis if you are an American. Is your money just gets funneled to baby boomers. There is no trickling down. We're just going to deregulate, because when the president gets a phone call from his friends on Wall Street saying, hey buddy, we're losing money, you know what he does? He just reverses course. But hey, your boy out here is failing community college and can't even get an email back from his professor. But at the very least, at least the president can make the stock market go up. You heard it here, folks. That is all we do. That's all we do. And only 60% of Americans own stocks. So about a little bit less than half the country doesn't even benefit from any of this. They don't care if things go up and down. They just want to pay their bills and live their life. And at what point do we say enough is enough? I've already talked about the American dream, so I ain't going to repeat myself here, but I'm going to say, when is just having a normal life just a revolutionary thing? Wake up, work, or even work for yourself, because people back in the day, you know, before there was ChatGPT, I don't know how people lived pre-iPhone, pre-Snapchat, pre-OnlyFans. I don't know how people lived back in the day. It's beyond me. But people used to just wake up and work for themselves in a small little town, and, you know, have a horse in the back, and, well, and some people had slaves, but we're not going to get into that. And that's it. That's what people did back in the day. And now You gotta retire, you gotta get a 401k, you gotta grind, you gotta do the 9 to 5. But what's the end all be all of that? Because all it takes is, all people have to, and mind you, the president got elected by 33% of the people. 33% of the working or voting population voted for this guy. Meaning 2/3 of people didn't even vote for this man, or at least 60%, you see. But yeah, only like 30, only a third of the people voted for him. And I ain't here to bash him, because Kamala wouldn't have been any much better. She really wouldn't have. She would have also given us some gunk or schlop. Just wouldn't be this schlop, it'll be different schlop. And when I'm working, when I'm trying to do things better, I'm not gonna say give up, but you should just know who your overlords are. Know who your overlords are. At the end of the day, there's some dude on Wall Street just, crunching numbers, and he's not even providing any real value. He's just doing up, down, like seeing a graph go up, then down, up and down. And then his boss is gonna call the White House and say, yo, Donnie T, Donnie J, Donnie TJ, Donald J. Trump, Donnie T, I don't know what's good with his name. Yo, these numbers going down, you gotta do something, my brother. And next thing you know, the numbers just go up. If your egg prices are still high, that's a you problem. That's a skill issue. Did you ever think about that? That's a skill issue. That's not because of economic forces you can't control. And I didn't even get into healthcare, but at some point, this is all just one giant scam. We are getting ripped off. Because you tell me I gotta pay rent, that's gonna go to my landlord, and then I gotta pay insurance that I may never use, and then I gotta pay taxes that I may never even, and pay into Social Security, which I may never even get the benefit for. It just gets funneled up. Until one day we either get a king or something, or a dictator. But you can't tell me that I'm on my own. And I'm not here to say, well, I'm gonna buy a piece of land and because even if I buy a piece of land, I'm still stuck within this country. Your boy would have to get some kind of self-sustaining island, or go to space or something. Maybe Elon Musk was onto something about going to space. But this, I don't know how long we can keep this up. I don't know how long we can keep just, all it takes is the words of someone for things to go up and down by trillions of, not billions, with a T, trillions of dollars. Who knows how this ends? It's probably not gonna be pretty. But we're all in this together, so sink or swim, we all go down together, and, wouldn't have it any other way. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked, please like and subscribe. My socials will be linked down below and at the end of this video. Thank you so much.